So now you have seen a few clips about effectual entrepreneurship, and Stuart Reed, the one who gave you those clips and had that introduction, he is one of the authors of this book, Effectual Entrepreneurship. You can see his name here. And I have based a little lecture on this book. He has already brought up a few important things. I will complement that a little bit. And then after that, I will hand over to the second author of this book, Sara Saraswati, the one who came up with this theory from the beginning. And you will watch a TED talk that she has made. After that, you will have a short summary of the theory. But I will continue what Stuart Reed started with you guys. And we're going to go through a few more things based on the book about effectual entrepreneurship. First, we're going to look at the myth that entrepreneurs are visionaries. Then we're going to look at ideas that entrepreneurs often think, well, perhaps I don't have a good idea and therefore I cannot do anything. But that might not be the case. Then a second myth, entrepreneurs are extraordinary forecasters. Then we're going to look at the idea of not knowing how to take the plunge into a new entrepreneurial endeavor. Then we're going to look at failure, that you might feel that I'm human, I'm afraid of failing. And then we're going to look a little bit more at the definition of effectuation, just to clear a few things out for you guys. But we start with the first myth. Entrepreneurs are visionaries. And here is the legendary roadmap to success, and you might have some kind of idea that this is the way entrepreneurs go about when you read about entrepreneurs, perhaps in the local press, etc. Then we get the idea that entrepreneurs searches for new ideas and high potential opportunity. That's how they start. Then some kind of light bulb goes on. Then they write a business plan. Then they go out fundraising, especially they target venture capitalists. Then they hire a great team. Then they build some kind of product and orchestrate a big launch. Then they achieve a steady or hockey stick growth. Then they sells or launches initial public offering. That means selling to the stock market. And retires to Bahamas. However, there's one problem with this picture. The entrepreneur would say, this is not how I did it. And Sara Saraswati, the one who came up with this theory, she and others have looked at real entrepreneurs and seen, okay, what do they actually do? And it might not be that they are extraordinary visionaries and that they can kind of go in this linear way towards success. So we said that the myth was that entrepreneurs are visionaries and that the entire picture that we saw before is a myth. And we're going to look at some facts that they give us in the effectuation book that I showed you before. And one of them is that only 28% of a sample of Inc. 500 firms had completed a formal and classical business plan, knowing that they actually kind of wrote down that this is what we're going to do and then they did it. And less than 27% of initial public offerings are funded by venture capitalists. And these two numbers, and this is my own remark, you can see that they are kind of similar. And in the business plan lecture, I stress that the business plan is often something that you do before you try to get investors. It's very much a document that can attract investors, and a certain kind of investors. These venture capitalists might be the ones that are most interested in the business plan. Business angels might also be interested. But these numbers are interesting, right? Because they're kind of telling you that the business plan lecture might not be what's most important for an entrepreneur. It's important in this course, though. So, two different things, right? The entrepreneurship endeavor that you might embark upon later or during your studies, and this course. And if we go back to the picture that we saw before, then the search and select approach makes sense in hindsight. when you describe what you did, but then when you're actually doing it, it might be another picture. Sometimes there's the claim that opportunities are found, that are out there, but the people that uses effectual entrepreneurship, they claim that opportunities are made, they are not found. It's the entrepreneur who make these things into opportunities. Then the second point, people might feel like they don't have a good idea, so they cannot start a venture. But remember that ideas can be anything plus you, the one you are, and opportunities, that's just idea plus action. So it can be anything plus you, and then you put that into action. Then you get some kind of opportunity. That's the way the effectuation theory says that it's made. And here's a quote from Robert Rice. People think they shouldn't go into business unless they have a blockbuster idea that's going to change the world. It does not work that way. There are few new blockbuster ideas. There are just mundane kind of ideas. You do something better than someone else. You take an existing thing and you add a new twist. It's just like Scrabble. You can take an existing word, you put one letter on it, and you get credit for the whole word. Your letter plus the word. And Robert Rice was the founder of RR, which is a company that brought Trivial Pursuit, the board game, to the US. So you would think that he knows what he's talking about.